The waiting room at Phoenix Oncology Center smelled like disinfectant and fear. I'd been sitting there for 3 hours, watching patients shuffle in and out, some in wheelchairs, others leaning heavily on loved ones. My mother had gone in for her chemotherapy 2 hours ago, insisting I wait outside. "The treatment makes me emotional," she'd said, clutching my hand. "I don't want you to see me like that, sweetheart." I'd given her my savings, $30,000 meant for a house down payment, over the past 4 months. Every penny I'd scraped together working double shifts as a pediatric nurse. She needed it for experimental treatments, she'd said. Insurance wouldn't cover the new drug protocol that could save her life. That's when Dr. Martinez approached me. "Excuse me, are you waiting for someone?" He had kind eyes behind wire-rimmed glasses, the sort of doctor who probably remembered all his patients' grandchildren's names. "My mother, Linda Walker. She's getting her treatment now." He frowned, pulling out his tablet. "Walker? Linda Walker?" He scrolled through several screens. "I'm sorry, I don't have a patient by that name. Are you sure you're at the right facility? She's been coming here every Tuesday and Thursday for 4 months." My voice sounded strange, distant. "Room 314. Dr. Phillips is her oncologist." His frown deepened. "We don't have a room 314. And there's no Dr. Phillips on staff here." "Ma'am, I think there might be some confusion." The world tilted. I gripped the armrest of the uncomfortable waiting room chair. "But I've dropped her off. I've picked her up. She comes out looking sick, weak." "What entrance does she use?" Dr. Martinez sat down beside me, his voice gentle like he was talking to a frightened patient. "The east entrance. By the parking garage." "Ma'am, that entrance leads to our administrative offices. Patients don't access treatment rooms from there." I stood up so fast the room spun. "I need to find her." But I already knew. Somewhere deep in my gut, I'd known for weeks. The little things that didn't add up. The way she'd gained weight during chemo. How her hair never fell out despite the aggressive treatment. The fact that she always had energy for her book club and lunch dates, but was too weak to work. I ran to the east entrance, Dr. Martinez calling security behind me. The hallway was just offices, billing, human resources, a break room. No treatment rooms. No patients. No mother. My phone buzzed. A text from Mom. "Honey, treatment ran long. I took an Uber home. Can you pick up dinner?" I called her. She answered on the 3rd ring, sounding perfectly healthy. "Where are you?" I demanded. "Home, sweetheart. The treatment really took it out of me today. Could you stop by that Thai place I like?" "There is no treatment." My voice was deadly calm. "There's no Dr. Phillips. There's no room 314. Silence. Then, "I don't know what you're talking about. The chemo must be making me confused about." "I'm at the hospital, Mother. I'm standing in the administrative wing where you've been spending your Tuesdays and Thursdays. The doctor has no record of you." The line went dead. I drove to her house. The nice one in Scottsdale she somehow afforded on her disability payments. Her car was in the driveway, a new Lexus she'd bought last month because the stress of cancer meant she deserved something nice. She didn't answer the door, but I still had my key. The house was quiet, pristine. Nothing like the home of someone battling cancer. I went to her bedroom, to the closet where she kept her medical supplies. There were pill bottles, all right. Vitamins. Empty prescription bottles with labels carefully soaked off. Boxes of bandages never opened. And in a filing box, the real evidence. Printed pages from cancer websites, symptom lists with handwritten notes in the margins. Remember to mention fatigue. Nausea equals no Thai food when with Emma. There was a notebook. A ledger, really. Every payment I'd made carefully recorded. Every lie documented like a script. April 3rd, told you about new trial drug, very expensive. She offered savings without me asking. Note, cry more next time. I photographed every page. In her office, I found more. Bank statements showing regular transfers to a gambling website. Credit card bills for cruises, high-end shopping, spa treatments. All while I'd been eating ramen and working overtime to pay for her treatment. My phone rang. "Mom." "Emma, sweetheart, I can explain. I'm in your office, looking at your real bank statements." "You broke into my house? How dare you? How dare I? How dare I?" I laughed, and it sounded unhinged. "You fake cancer. You stole $30,000 from me. You let me work myself sick thinking I was saving your life. I was going to pay you back. With what? Your gambling winnings?" Silence. Then, in a smaller voice. "How did you find out?" "A real doctor. At the real cancer center. where real people are really dying while you played dress up and stole from your daughter. I'm your mother. I gave you life. Don't I deserve? I hung up and called the police. The detective who took my statement looked tired until I showed him the evidence. Then he perked up like a bloodhound catching a scent. This is comprehensive, Detective Chen said, scrolling through the photos. She documented her own fraud? She's always been meticulous, I said bitterly. Used to brag about her organizational skills. And you have records of all the payments? Bank transfers, check copies, even ATM footage from when I withdrew cash for her. I kept everything because I thought I might need it for tax deductions. Medical expenses. He winced. I'm sorry this happened to you, but this makes our job easier. This is textbook fraud, elder abuse in reverse. What happens now? We'll get a warrant. Seize the physical evidence. Then we'll arrest her. Good. He studied me. A lot of victims don't want to press charges when it's family. She watched me skip meals to save money for her fake treatment. She let me cry on her shoulder about being scared of losing her. She used my love as a weapon. That's not family. The arrest happened 2 days later. Mom called me from jail, collect. Emma, please. I'm sick, not cancer, but sick. Gambling addiction is a disease. Then get treatment. Real treatment. In prison. Prison? Emma, no. I'm your mother. You're a stranger who stole $30,000 from me. Goodbye, Linda. The story hit the local news. Valley woman fakes cancer to steal daughter's savings. My phone exploded with calls from relatives I hadn't heard from in years. Aunt Helen. How could you do this to your mother? Family doesn't air dirty laundry. Family doesn't fake cancer for money, Helen. Uncle Rob, she's always been troubled. You should have helped her instead of sending her to jail. I tried to help her. With $30,000. She gambled it away. Cousin Marie. But what if she really gets sick now? Who'll take care of her? The state of Arizona. The trial was swift. Mom's meticulous records worked against her. She documented everything, creating an airtight case for the prosecution. Her lawyer tried to play the mental illness card, but the calculated nature of the fraud, the research, the planning, the manipulation, showed clear premeditation. She took a plea deal. 3 years in prison, 5 years probation, full restitution. The day of sentencing, she wore the same outfit she'd worn to her chemo appointments. Soft gray cardigan, silk scarf around her head, careful makeup to look pale and drawn. Playing the victim to the end. I just want to say, she addressed the court, that I love my daughter. Everything I did was out of love. I wanted to give her the chance to be a hero, to save her mother. Isn't that what every child wants? The judge wasn't moved. Ms. Walker, you systematically defrauded your daughter over months, exploiting her love and fear. You caused not just financial harm, but emotional trauma. Your actions were calculated, cruel, and show a complete lack of remorse. As they led her away, she turned to me. I'll never forgive you for this. Good, I said. We're finally on the same page. The restitution payments are small, $200 a month from her prison job, then whatever she can manage on probation. I'll never see most of that money again. But that's not why I pressed charges. I pressed charges because 3 other women came forward after the news story. Mom had done this before. A coworker 15 years ago, fake lupus, $10,000. A boyfriend in between, fake MS, $25,000. An elderly neighbor, fake heart surgery, $5,000. She'd perfected her technique over years, and I was just the biggest score. I've been in therapy for 2 years now, learning to trust again. Learning that not everyone who says they love you is lying. That sometimes people really are sick, really do need help, and that doesn't make me stupid for believing them. Dr. Martinez called me last month. He remembered me, wanted to check in. I've been thinking about that day, he said. In 30 years of oncology, I've never seen anything like it. The cruelty of it. She's good at being cruel, I agreed. But you know what struck me? You were there, in that waiting room for 3 hours, supporting someone you thought was dying. That's not stupid, Ms. Walker. That's love. Don't let her theft steal that from you too. Mom gets out in 6 months with good behavior. She's already sent letters through various relatives, testing the waters for reconciliation. The letters all follow the same pattern. How sorry she is, how prison has changed her, how she's getting help for her gambling addiction. Maybe she is. Maybe prison really has reformed Linda Walker. Maybe she'll emerge a changed woman who understands the gravity of what she did. But I won't be there to find out. My new house, Smaller than the one I'd originally planned, but mine has excellent security. Cameras, motion sensors, and most importantly, no forwarding address that dear old mom can find. Because while cancer can go into remission, trust, once dead, doesn't come back to life. The last time I saw her was at sentencing. But the last time I had a mother? That was the day I sat in a real cancer center, watching real patients fight real battles, while mine was at a casino, gambling away my future and calling it love. Some cancers, it turns out, don't need chemotherapy to be cut out. Just courage, evidence, and a detective who believes you. And sometimes the cure hurts worse than the disease. But at least it's real.